In California, the LA City Council, president resigned today following backlash over racist comments that she made. Now, she resigned as council president, but not from the city council. This audio was posted on Reddit. It has led to an explosion there in the city, and folks all around the country are demanding all three council members and a major labor leader resign. Listen to this.
All the, folks like with Ascoin, he did call me. He wants to have breakfast with me.
What's taking him so long?
I haven't. I just said, hey, we need to talk.
Gil supported him from the...
All right, don't worry, I got you. So you'll start seeing them line up. Isaac was the first.
Now, folks, the conversation from October 2021 was council members Gil Cedillo, Kevin De Leon, and LA County Federation of Labor President Ron Herrera, in addition to the city council president as well. So here's the deal, folks. So they were having this conversation, and they were talking about a number of issues, redistricting. Then it got real personal, talking about one council member who has a black son, also what you do about the district of Councilman Mark Ridley Thomas, who was indicted on corruption charges, and also holding on to black power, holding on to political power. Now, folks, this thing has just exploded, and the comments about the adopted son of Councilman Mike Bonin caused him to react as well. Check it out.
It's like the oddest thing. It's a black and brown on this float. And then there's this white guy with this little black kid who's misbehaved. Este niño has they're not even, they're not doing, the kid is bouncing off the effing wall on the float, practically tipping it over. There's nothing you can do to control him. Parece changuito. And I'm just like, oh my God. They're raising him like a little white kid, which I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Like, let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back.
Yeah.
¿Sí me entiendes?
Now, folks, this is the Los Angeles Times, where it says Padilla, Bass, and Caruso call for Martinez, De Leon, and Cedillo to resign. But it's not just them. Different labor organizations, they are calling on President Ron Herrera of the LA County Federation of Labor to resign. My understanding is that the AFL-CIO is giving him until Thursday to do so, or he will be fired from this. And so that's what sources are telling me as well, folks. Again, when you look at the statements that are coming out, it is very clear that folks understand that this simply cannot happen. This is the statement that came out from Karen Bass, where she talked about LA moving in a new direction. Go to it, please. And then when she devoted her life to it, she specifically calls for them to step down. Now, initially, Gil Garcetti, his initial statement was this: we don't call for this. It was very bland. He did not call for them to resign. Rick Caruso did not call for them to resign. So a number of people have been dancing around this issue, initially by saying, oh, the right thing must be done. We don't tolerate this form of racism. That was it. And they have been called out. Now they've switched past and now understand, look, that ain't good enough. And so it is increasing. And so I wouldn't be surprised if these three, I doubt very seriously they can last through the end of the week. But we'll see. Joining me right now is Erica Smith. She's a columnist with the Los Angeles Times and a culture critic. Also joining us is Jasmyne Cannick. Glad to have both of you. Jasmyne, I want to start with you. I've been looking at your Twitter feed, looking at how you going after many of these Democrats, making it perfectly clear. Because I'm going to bring in the Ed Buck situation, because your deal, they were real quiet on Ed Buck until you and others kept hitting them saying, oh, y'all want to be quiet? And the dance around this in the last 24 hours has been real interesting. How initially, yeah, do the right thing. We condemn these comments, but short of calling for resignation. Martinez resigns as council president, but she's still on the city council. She has not stepped down. It's just your thoughts on how Democrats in California, in LA, Los Angeles, LA County, and the state are trying to do a cute little dance, but not challenging these three, saying, y'all got to go.
Right. So let's be clear. First of all, Democrats are always talking about meeting the moment. I'm waiting for them to meet this moment. I am a former special assistant to the previous LA Council Council president. I am an elected member to the LA County Democratic Party, so I am a delegate. So I have a really unique perspective in all of this, having worked at City Hall, but also being a part of the Democratic Party. And I find all of this very, very troubling because you have labor as well as our political leaders. And let's be clear, Roland, if a Black elected leader, or let's say even a Republican, had been caught making disparaging or racist remarks about any group of people, you know, they would spare no time in calling for their resignation. And it's absolutely ludicrous to me that folks are tap dancing around this. They can't seem to quite find the right words to get out of their mouth. This is a you know what or get off the pot moment. This is not a I'm going to sit on the fence moment. You either stand by racists or you don't stand by racists. And for the Democratic Party, because these are all Democrats, for the Democratic Party to take their time, my party, I haven't seen the LA County Democratic Party say anything. The California Democratic Party did a thoughts and prayers like statement, but did not call for anyone to be to resign. That is absolutely ridiculous. Either folks are with us or they're not. And I will always be a proud member of the Black.
Erica, again, yesterday, late yesterday, yeah, as Jasmine said, lots of thoughts and prayers were being offered. Then all of a sudden, this morning, it was more heat and more heat. And then you begin to have organizations weigh in. You begin to have the Nurses Association weigh in. I mean, we can start talking about all different people who started weighing in. And as that intensity increased, then all of a sudden it was, oh, I better read the tea leaves. Let me just jump on this resign train. Otherwise, I'm going to get criticism.
No, it was definitely a snowball effect. I mean, yesterday, as Jasmine said, it was a lot of, this is really horrible. We should condemn this and we can't do this in LA. Very few people outright called for them to resign, but it was overnight. I mean, I think the story just kind of kept going, into the wee hours of the morning. And this morning, Nuri Martinez stepped down as president, and that was almost met with an immediate backlash of that's not good enough. Our editorial board at the LA Times has put out an editorial calling for all three council members to resign. This has, it's just grown and grown. And a few minutes ago, actually, Mayor Eric Garcetti put out a statement actually saying that all three members of the council should resign. And Representative Adam Schiff has jumped on board, Alex Padilla, our senator. So it's growing. I don't think there's a sense now of, that, Martinez stepping down as president is going to cut it.
Jasmine, have we heard anything from Councilwoman Maxine Waters? Have we heard anything from California Governor Gavin Newsom?
I personally haven't, but I do want to say this. They all have to go. There's only one zip code in the city of Los Angeles that has increased its Black population, and that's the one that encompasses Skid Row that Kevin De Leon also on that audio overseas. Okay, let's be really clear. These people, not only do they get paid with the money of all Angelenos, including Black Angelenos, but the labor leader himself, he conspired on audio to use the hardworking dudes from including Black folks' paychecks to work against them, to dilute a district, to commit voter suppression. Okay, so we have a really big problem here. These people vote on issues and things that affect all of us in this city. And as you know, Black people have been clinging on to stay in the city. We're less than 9% of the population. We make up the majority of the homeless. Many of us are moving down south into Las Vegas and other parts of the state because we simply cannot afford to live in this city. And so to know that our elected leaders and our labor leaders are literally sitting around laughing and conspiring about how to get rid of us, how to dilute our power, is absolutely infuriating to me.
Erica, the thing that also I find to be interesting here is that what this also speaks to is a reality when it comes to Black and Hispanic battle over power. There was a battle in Houston when it came to the superintendent, where several Houston school board members were meeting privately, breaking state law. trying to bring back an Hispanic superintendent who had left and consistently overlooked the black superintendent who later actually left to go take a job in Missouri, even though she was bringing the district back. And so these battles, we've seen them happen over police chiefs, over fire chiefs. Here with Los Angeles, what you have are these council members and this labor leader, all Latino, trying to use their power to further take advantage of the political situation there and frankly stymie black political power in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I wrote about that actually for the paper today and online today, talking about that tension. I mean, that's one of the things that really came up, at the time that this conversation was recorded, which is about a year ago. There was conversations about redistricting and how these council districts, what are the maps going to be? And we all know that redistricting, no matter what level of government it is, it's going to be contentious. But, there was a just concerted effort. This hour-long conversation in many ways was just a strategy session on how to dilute the black vote here in Los Angeles. And so you have a Latino population that is, about half of the people in Los Angeles are Latino, but they do not have as many council seats. And you have a black population that has long historically been in South LA, has right now 3 members of the council that are black. Increasingly, a lot of those districts are all Latino. And so there is this tension, right, of who is going to maintain political power. But I think beyond that, it's a sense that came from this conversation that not just only did they want to have council seats, but the fact that black issues didn't matter, that our needs were going to be deprioritized in favor of Latinos and other immigrants. And I think that is the thing that was the most, in some ways, there were so many offensive things about that recording, but that was one of the more offensive, long-standing issues. And I think that that's something that is not going to be addressed by 3 council members stepping down and the labor leader stepping down. It has to be, if this is a core value of people in LA and how we're going to deal with groups of people and demographics and the needs of meeting the public, we have to really be more concerted about that. And what I heard on that tape was just not acceptable.
And for them to say that the LA district attorney, Jasmyne, F him, he's with the blacks.
Yes.
She was real clear.
Yeah, again, following what Erica said, everything on that audio is so infuriating. I remember I tweeted yesterday, I wondered whether or not DCFS had been called because Nuri was talking about wanting to beat a little black boy. I mean, if a black woman said that, DCFS would have been at her door within an hour, examining her kids and talking to them, right? So, there are a lot of, it's like I said, it's so infuriating because these are the people that make the ordinances, that set the policies. Interestingly enough, I was talking to someone today, reminding them that it was Nuri Martinez that sort of spearheaded the ordinance around not being able to protest at their houses, right? And something tells me there are going to be a lot of protests at these folks' houses if they do not resign. They have to go. They can't be paid with public money and share those feelings. But most importantly, I'm going to always bring it back home to the Democratic Party because a lot of black people vote for Democrats. All of these people are Democrats. And when you talk about labor and the Democratic Party, they go hand in hand. All of these people have been supported by the party. And they all support each other. And for the party to have nothing to say, for the party to not be pressuring them to step down is absolutely outrageous. And, I'm going to say this, I'm going to be really blunt and frank. If we, as Black people in Los Angeles, allow these people to retain our seats, we deserve everything we get moving forward. Absolutely, we do. Because folks will know that there are no real long-lasting consequences for insulting Black folks, and that it's basically open season on us. There is a reason why these districts have smaller and smaller numbers of Black people in them. It's because of people like Nuri and Gil and Kevin and Ron and the conspiracy. This is just something that was caught on audio. These conversations, these backroom deals happen all the time, and they have been happening for quite some time, which is why our numbers continue to go down in this city. And so we have to see some real change here. And this is going to be a real difficult conversation for a lot of people, but we're going to find out who are the hypocrites And like I said, if we as Black people stand by this, allow ourselves to be placated with her just stepping down from the presidency and letting some so-called Black leaders say, well, we met with them and we're going to sing Kumbaya and everything is okay right now because they've apologized, then absolutely do we deserve everything we get moving forward in this city.
Erica, final comment.
Yeah, I think that everything that Jasmine said was correct, but I also think that we have to also look at this. Once these folks are gone, we can't also allow the same system to appoint new people. I mean, we need to really think about who's going to replace them and why, and who are they going to be representing. I think we need to give a little more thought to that, and I think it's going to be a long process. And I think that our upcoming mayor race is going to really have an impact. Whoever becomes mayor is going to have to step into it quite a bit.
All right, then. Erica, Jasmine, I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Juliana, I want to start with you. Nuri Martinez, this is what she said. She